Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stamp It Up with Jaimie. If you're catching this on my YouTube channel, thanks so much for watching. This is my Wednesday night Facebook Live that I do. Feel free to look below for a link for my store as well as a link to my blog. Tonight I'm going to be using a brand new product I'm super excited about. I literally just got it in the mail like 3 hours ago. It uses a Wild Rose stamp set bundled, both of them. This is a stamp set that immediately caught my attention in the new catalog. It has these beautiful, like big, chunky floral images and really, really sweet sentiments. I just think that's really, really sweet. Hi, Michelle. Good evening, Amy. So I knew I had to have this. So this is the stamp set to a Wild Rose. And it coordinates and bundles with the Wild Rose dies, which are pretty stunning in and of themselves. Good evening, Terry. Let's see here. We have like this beautiful lattice. We have this great guy. I'm not using him tonight. I toyed with whether to use him or not, and then I decided against it. But this great like label sort of background stitched. Hello, we love our stitched images. Good evening, Trudy. We have some standalone florals, and then this big guy cuts out the flower, and this leaf here cuts out the leaf, and then that guy cuts out the little center there, which is kind of cute. So that's what we're playing with tonight. I'm super excited. So let's just dive right in. My color scheme for tonight is, where are my things? Here we go. We have Rococo Rose, Mint Macaron. So weird to say. I always want to say macaroon, but I think it's macaron. And Sahara Sand. Hi, Karen. Good evening. Hello, hello. So I'm going to try and follow along with comments on my phone. My computer here is being a little wonky, so if I missed a comment, I apologize. I'll go back and read them afterwards. Let's see here. We have our card base of Rococo Rose. This is our standard 4 1/4 by 11, it should be. Yep, scored at 5.5. Oh, you love the background image? I do too. More new product. Super exciting. And I just realized I didn't take that one out. Hold on. I forgot to take that one. There it is. Okay, so the background stamp that we're using is the Birch Background Stamp. I got this because I love the designer series paper that Stampin' Up! Has sold in the past that has like a wood grain background to it. And I think this is just beautiful. I can see this like with Christmas cards, definitely when it comes to like florals. It's just a very nice, subtle, sweet background. And it almost looks like it's paper. Like when I saw it in the catalog, I was like, oh, that's paper, but it's not. It's actually a stamped image, which is actually pretty cool, I think. Thanks, Linda. I so appreciate it. Hello, hello. Okie dokie. So that's our card base. Let's go ahead and stamp that first. Now, here's the thing. You can go ahead and use the Ginormo, that's a technical term, block. However, I don't even have it, quite honestly. So all I am using to kind of get around needing a block is my Stamparatus. Look, it's already been used. I'm not going to, well, I guess I could flip it over. It could be a clean sheet underneath. So let's see here. Oops, picking up everything. I'm just gonna put the stamp on the side, and this I'll measure it when I'm done. Now that I have everything kind of in place. Now the tricky part about this is that because I want to cover the entire cardstock with the stamped image, there was no place for me to put the magnets to hold down the cardstock. However, the previous 2 times I did it, and I did it twice because first I did it on Whisper White and then I did it on Sahara Sand. Both times that I did it, the paper stayed put. And I had to do it twice. I had to hinge it twice. So let's see if this works. Good evening, Marty. Hello. This should work. Although, you know, my luck with this sort of stuff. It worked twice earlier, so hopefully this does the job, okay? Just going to hinge it over and push it down really well. Again, you could use the biggest, I forget what letter it is, the biggest block. But, oh, look at that. It stayed put. Ta-da! I love when things work. Okay, so, and just keep in mind when you stamp with our new ink pads, I really find that they stamp darker, and then as the ink dries, it gets lighter. So when I first stamped this, I was like, ooh, maybe I should stamp off, but it really did kind of lighten up as the ink dried. Oh, thanks, Trudy. I so appreciate it. Oh, you like it, Linda? Isn't that so pretty? I just think it's gorgeous. And I find it interesting. It kind of has like this knot in the wood. So depending on where you put the cardstock, you could get like different images. It kind of reminds me of our Pinewood Planks embossing folder. Like depending on where you put it in the embossing folder, you get different images. So, whoops, now I can't pick it up. Let's set that aside. Now, so let me just show you the stamp set again. These roses are beautiful. You can do one-step stamping. If you just wanted to stamp this rose on like a cardstock and cut it out, beautiful, wonderful. You could do two-step stamping, which is what I'm going to do tonight. I'm just going to stamp this one and this guy. I really like that combination. You could stamp this guy and this guy, or you could do all three. So it could be one-step stamping, two-step stamping, or even three-step stamping, according to what kind of image you're going for. And definitely if you're doing multiple stamping, you may want to use the Stamparatus depending on how good your positioning is. You need this embossing folder. You need this embossing folder. Which one? I didn't use embossing folder. Are you talking about the Pinewood Planks one? It's a favorite of mine. I do love it. Okay. You're going to need a scrap piece of Whisper White. And again, I'm going to be using this guy and this guy. First this one and then this one. I already have them mounted and ready to go. I'm stamping in Rococo Rose. And the outline, I'm going to just do straight on. And then the second image, I'm going to stamp off for. So first one goes straight on. Hopefully this works. What colors would you use with the three stamps? Okay. That's a very good question. You could, oh, hold on, let's do that again. So you could use the same exact, let me get it, it's easier to explain. You could use the same color. And how I would do that would be this straight on, like ink, stamp. This one I would do ink, stamp off, and then stamp on. And then this one I would ink up, stamp off twice, and then stamp on. You could do that, like just keep in the same family. If you're looking for different like variations, I would definitely suggest kind of like playing around, but kind of staying in the same color family. So if you want a pink rose, maybe do the outline in like a darker pink, like a Lovely Lipstick, or even a Flirty Flamingo. And then I don't know if I would do 3 colors. I would definitely stick to no more than 2. So you're definitely going to want to like go stamp straight on one color and then maybe stamp off another. So you could do like this in Lovely Lipstick. Maybe you could do this one straight on Petal Pink and then this one stamped off Petal Pink, that sort of thing. I'm like looking at my colors here. What else do I have? Okay, Gorgeous Grape. That would be a perfect one. This one could be Gorgeous Grape. And then Highland Heather, you could do that one straight on and then that one stamped off. Or when the Purple Posy becomes available, similar, you could even do that Highland Heather, that one Purple Posy, and that one Purple Posy stamped off. So always just like this is going to be your darkest one. And then like gradually getting lighter. I hope that makes sense. But definitely this is one to kind of play around with. I'm sure Pinterest, I think I've seen some people do like color samples, you know, like where they are testing different colors. So definitely look on Pinterest. Good evening, Avanel. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay, now this is where you just kind of have to keep turning it until you figure out how it lines up. I think it's there. Yeah. So see how that fits like right over it? I don't know if you can see that on camera, but that fits, and all the petals, it's just the right image, the right side. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to ink up, make sure I'm getting some good coverage there. I'm going to stamp off. And then, hold on, I'm going to do that again because I missed a part. There we go. Let's try that again. Stamp off. And then we're going to line it up. Again, if you tend to like run a little unsure when it comes to multiple stamping, definitely you're going to want the Stamparatus. That kind of takes the thought process out of this. But I think we're pretty good. So sorry. Oh my goodness, I just got a phone call. Let's see if I can. No, I'm on Do Not Disturb. Oh, it was my mom. I'm sorry about for that little pause. I did play with these two guys here, and this is what it would look like. Again, that the outside line is the straight on Rococo Rose, and then the inside is the stamped off. But I kind of liked I don't know, I kind of like that one. That's why I went with it. I'm going to cut it out in a second, but while we are stamping right now, I'm going to go ahead and do the leaves. For the leaves, I'm using this one and then this one. Again, it could be a 1, 2, or 3-step stamping. Kind of depends on the look that you're going for. I'm going to use Mint Macaron. I thought the two colors together looked really pretty. Kind of like soft colors. I actually plan on giving this card to my grandma. I like to send her cards every now and then. You know, give her some happy mail. And she loves flowers. Anything flowers, and pink is her favorite color. So that was kind of my thought process. It's always kind of fun when you're stamping with someone very specific in mind, because you can kind of cater to their likes. So Mint Macaron again, just stamped off and then lined up. These images are fairly big and kind of chunky, so they are fairly easy to line up. I don't think you can't mess it up too bad. And if you do, they're kind of like a watercolor wash to them, and definitely an artistic flair. So if you royally mess up, you can just call it a work of art and it would pass. Okay, so those are 2 flowers in our, 2 leaves in our flower. I'm just going to take the dies quickly and cut them out off camera here with your die cutting tool, although I have stuff all over it. I have to move all the stuff that's on it. And again, with this guy, so it's not tricky. It just, you have to be patient. So you just kind of have to keep, hold on, there we go, spinning him around until you see where the petals line up. So you just, you just keep, there we go. See how that lines up perfectly there? That's how it's supposed to go through your die cutting machine. So, don't mind me, I'm just going to cut these out quickly. I was going to do them ahead of time, but I figured, I don't know. It's kind of fun to do it in the moment. Okay, there's our rose, so pretty. And then our leaves. Again, keep in mind with our new dies here, they are a tight fit. So you're not going to have that when you line it up. You're not going to have a white line. If you have a white line around it, you're not doing a tight enough hug to it. That makes sense. Okay, here's one leaf. Sorry, I apologize if I'm moving the camera. I'm doing this right on my desk here. So there's one leaf. Come on. Yep. And another leaf. Okay, any questions so far? Easy peasy, right? So easy. Now, I did go ahead of time, and I used, let's see here, this guy, and I cut out 2 Mint Macaron leaves. So I have 2 stamped ones and 2 cut ones. Okay, let me show you my example again. So I can't start assembling because first I have to do the sentiment, but just so you know kind of like what we're aiming for. I don't want to lose those. That would not be good. Okay, so this is, let's see here. What did I cut this at? Super small. 5/8 by 4 1/4. And we're going to heat emboss. And as I was preparing this card, I was like, I think I heat emboss every single video. And it might be true. It's just a technique that it's always like kind of my go-to technique. I love having white on colored cardstock. I think it just pops beautifully. So if you're like, oh, she's heat embossing again, I apologize. I won't stop either. Okay, so you're going to wipe your cardstock with their embossing buddy. I go, you know, just to remind you. Gets rid of all the static. I'm using the Hello. And I'm going to stamp it in Versa marking. Kind of to the right of my cardstock. Like so. Cover it. And then, yep, we're good. Then you're going to sprinkle it generously with your embossing powder, like so. And right now, it's like a mat on my paper. And you can definitely see the little specks of powder. And then you're going to take your heat tool and heat it until it goes glossy. When it goes glossy, you're done. Yep, it's moving. So fun to watch. Takes just a couple of seconds there and then you're good to go. Okay, so what did I do? There we go. I'm like, what did I do with my snail? Here we go. So we're going to just make sure that's nice and cool. And, oh, hold on. What am I doing? I gotta do, oh my goodness. I'm like, doesn't look right. I gotta tear this down first. So we're gonna just mat our birch, the stamped birch, on 1/8 of a size bigger in Sahara Sand cardstock. Again, pulling that color. I thought the Sahara Sand was just a nice kind of neutral to balance out the card. That's why I picked it. And then that goes down next. You love to hear emboss. Oh, heat emboss. You love it. I do too. I do too. So much. So much. Yes, heat embossing is beautiful. Love it. I think you can never have enough of it. Honestly. And then this guy, I didn't quite have him. Well, here's what I did. I kind of held my rose and that's how I figured out where I wanted him to go. Like there-ish. Okay. Next, this is where it got kind of interesting, and I'm going to kind of walk you through how I did it. Maybe there's a more streamlined way to go about it. But again, I kind of held my rose kind of where I knew I wanted him to go. So I wanted him nestled to the left of my words there. And I put some adhesive right on like where the birch is. So be careful. Don't put this down because it's going to pick up. But I wanted to kind of figure out where I wanted my leaves to go. So first up here, I'm putting the stamped one first. So I want him there. And then I'm going to put the cutout over him. I don't want it covering the hello. Okay, that works. And then for this guy over here, he was a little trickier because I really wanted the leaves to show. So I kind of have them going down. This time I'm going to put the cutout image first. And then my stamped leaves. Now, ideally this wouldn't be hanging down the bottom. I would have them more off to the side. So maybe in hindsight, I would have done a more landscape card because I would have had plenty of room for the leaves to kind of spread. But I want this to be a practical card and it's got to be able to fit into an envelope. If it doesn't fit in an envelope, it's not going to get mailed. So I did have to kind of adjust it. So, hi, Christy. Good evening. I think a lot of us got our start in card making with embossing. Oh, really? Yeah. I think it was like one of the first kind of techniques I learned. I was so impressed when I saw it for the first time. I mean, mind blown. I actually did at Christy's party that she had once. I just thought it was just the coolest thing ever. Okay. So I'm taking the new Rococo Rose, scalloped linen ribbon, I think it's called, is like the technical term. So the color is only on one side. So you're going to see in my card, I have like this kind of banner hanging off. Normally, I would just fold it over and adhere it down. But when I fold it over, only one side has color. So we got to do a little like surgery here. I'm doing like a faux banner. Oops, hold on. Like that. And then I trimmed it. And then I cut it. Does that make sense? Because it's only one-sided. I wanted the color is so pretty in it. It's just a beautiful texture to the card. I wanted to show off. I didn't want it hidden. Actually, I think I want my ribbon like this. My tails. Like that. And then all I did is I wanted them poking through a little bit. This one I might add a little bit more adhesive. For this one, you may want to use tear and tape. There's a lot of texture in this ribbon. It's like thick. It's got a lot of oomph to it. So you may want to consider using tear and tape. I'm not, but you may want to. I would recommend it. Kind of like do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. Next, I'm going to adhere the rose down with some dimensionals because can't have a card without some sort of dimensionals on it. peel those guys off. And let's see here. I don't think it really matters. I mean, you can kind of play. I kind of like it like that. I don't think, you know, it's kind of a round rose, so it's not like it's oblong or something like that. Okay, next, to give it some bling, and this is beautiful, by the way, as is, at least I think so. So you can send it just like that. However, I thought we'd add some, oh, I didn't get my picker-upper. Here it is. Rhinestones, as well as some, what are these things called? 2019-2021 in color faceted dots. So we have like 3 sizes. They're small, which the majority of them are small. Then we have 2 rows of medium and 2 rows of large. I'm just using a couple small and then the medium. I'm not using the large ones. So I put one there, and then I put another small one, up here. And then I picked up another small one. And I put him over there, but I don't know if I like him. Should we not put him on? No, I like him. Jury's out, but we're committing. And then up this one, up to that one there, I took a medium one. I added a medium one. Come on. There. And then this guy I took, so when the faceted dots, you get the 5 in colors, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 3 sizes, if that makes sense. So I took the small one. Come on. I'm still getting used to these, Karen. Is Karen on still? I may have to go to my scissors. There we go. I put the small one up here. And then I took the medium one. Come on. There we go. And I put him down here. And there we go. That's our card. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. You think it's beautiful? Aw, shucks. So that's the card. It uses the birch and the, what is it called? A wild rose bundle. Remember, if you buy them together as a bundle, you are going to get the 10% off, which is makes it a little, you're watching, which makes it a little sweeter. And I really think you can do a lot with this. So I would highly recommend picking up both of the bundle and the stamp set. If you have any questions, certainly let me know. You can get a hold of me. And what is next week's date? Hold on, let me just look at the date. Okay, I will be back next week. The 26th, I will not be on. I will be going to the Yankee game with my dad. But I'll be back tomorrow night. Stick the point of the tweezers under the gem first and then pick it up. It's easier that way. Oh, okay. I'll have to try that. Thanks, Amy. Okay, guys, if you've been watching and you haven't yet left a comment of some sort, please do so, because that's how I pick names for someone to receive tonight's card. If you'd like to receive it. So have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you back next week. Bye-bye.